Welcome to the Wisconsin Music Podcast.
Join us as we dive into the creative world of Darrin Alston, a multi-talented force in the greater Milwaukee area, from music and stand-up comedy to podcasting, game design, and running his own company, Sorta Ridiculous Productions. Darrin's creative reach is unmatched. He also the host of Milwaukee's favorite karaoke night at Drunken Cobra, where he brings energy and entertainment to the stage every week. In this episode, we explore Darrin's journey across multiple creative fields, his role as CEO and creative director of Sorta Ridiculous Productions, and his unique perspective of blending performance with production. Don't miss this chance to meet an artist redefining the Milwaukee scene, one project at a time. Also remember, new episodes drop every Tuesday, Wisconsin Music Podcast, where we amplify Wisconsin music. Darrin, welcome to the Wisconsin Music Podcast.
Thanks for having me, Zach. I appreciate it.
Great to meet you. So let's dive right in and kind of give the listeners, how did you get into music? How did that become part of your life?
Well, I started out as a musical theater kid.
Okay. So
being on stage and singing is my thing. Although my music so far has been mostly hip hop. So I've written things in the past, but after meeting Mystik Musik, who's an awesome music producer here in the greater Milwaukee area, actually met him because of being part of the best karaoke bar or hosting karaoke at Drunken Cobra. I was like, hey, you know what would be sort of ridiculous? If I collabed with the best music producer in Milwaukee. So we did that, and we've dropped 3 tracks, and we have a couple more in the can.
Awesome. So kind of tell us a little bit more detail of that journey, meeting with him, with them, and kind of from the beginning to where you got those 3 tracks put together.
Okay. So the Best of Milwaukee 2023 awards, we met briefly, and after, I'll say maybe a week or so afterwards, I contacted him. I was like, hey, it was nice meeting you. We should collaborate. So I set up some time for us to have a studio session at River West Radio, where I produce Sorta Ridiculous, which is also a radio show that's live every Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we knocked out the first track in 6 hours. That would have been my debut single, Square.
Okay.
So we've had 2 more sessions at River West Radio, and that's where the next couple of singles came out, which would be Graphic Tees. Graphic Tees and TFNG, featuring Fezino, another local artist.
And then what you've learned from working with this producer.
I've learned that in the music industry, you can do whatever you want. Only so much is about the music itself. So the music is a vehicle for you. Of course, love the music, but when it comes down to it, it's a product. And that's something that I learned from Mystik, and the fact that you can't. Neither of us like to be pigeonholed as far as genres or things are concerned. So that's why our chemistry it really works. But again, I learned from that in the music industry, you can do whatever you want in there. The possibilities are endless. Being on the outside, you think, oh, you have to do this, then that, one after the other. But no, you can do it. Your journey, everyone's journey is unique, and I greatly appreciate that.
Fantastic. So what do you believe that your role as being in musical theater has elevated or helped direct your course in your productions of your music?
Most definitely. I feel that the music that goes along with musical theater, well, obviously it's more theatrical, but there's a more focus on the lyrics themselves outside of the composition of the music. I feel like regardless of what a song is in musical theater, it has a definitive story and a perspective. So I feel that that's what's helped me with writing. And as far as having ideas for the different songs, I've drawn on all sorts of ideas for various productions, and not just in the recording of the music, but also in ideas for visuals and way to present things at events.
Have you taken any of these songs that you've worked with Mystik and brought it to the live stage yet?
Yes. So the production, through Sorta Ridiculous, I started the series this summer called the Sorta Ridiculous Laughing Jam, which is a combination of a comedy show and a concert. So I'll have about a handful of comedians perform like 5 to 8 minutes with a headliner, and then we take a little break, and then we have like 3 or 4 artists, well, at least 3 or 4 artists perform, and it's caught on. So we did one for, actually all three of these first ones were for the WXRW River West Radio alleyway concert series. I might have butchered that, but it was a concert series we did in the alleyway between Daily Bird and Shaky Hands graphic. Both companies are great, and Shaky Hands have actually made some of my tees.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And then so you said this is at River West Radio. Mm-hmm. Is this like a venue that people can go and, consume what you're doing, or is this kind of like a closed set thing?
Well, River West Radio is definitely open to hosting events, and we've had multiple events there. But it's also a familiar place for me, to the extent that when we're recording music or having a session, it doesn't take long to settle in. Because I feel like when you're having a studio session, it's not just you and the person, but it has to be an environment that feels very creative, where you can be creative and open,
Yeah.
and vulnerable. Being vulnerable is, it's kind of hard. I feel like it's challenging to find places like that sometimes.
Yeah, I think people are drawn to people that can be vulnerable on stage because they are hesitant themselves to be vulnerable, but they love to be, living vicariously through artists that can be up on stage and show that vulnerability that other people are afraid to do.
I agree. I agree. To that extent, let me tell you how comfortable that we are in this creative space. So this last session that we had, we finished 2 songs, but this session we were both in cosplay.
Oh, okay.
Because we thought it'd be fun. It was a heavier song.
Yeah.
It was a heavier song. I thought that we needed something to counterbalance that, because the song that we recorded was a song that I called Sentiments, and the story behind the song Sentiments is I was in my last semester going to graduate from MATC, computer simulations and gaming, and my backpack got stolen.
Oh.
And 90% of my portfolio was in that backpack, and I didn't have it properly. Yeah, I didn't have it properly backed up, because I had a trip to California. I was like, all right, I'm going to bring everything with me. I'm going to get a bunch of work done. Obviously, being on vacation, I got next to nothing done. And when I got back, it set me back a year and a half. So 2 days after that happened, I wrote this song. So it's some pretty heavy stuff.
So what cosplay were you guys dressed up as?
So Mystik was Merrick from Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is like one of the villains, one of the dopest villains. And I was the main character from the anime Black Clover. His name is Asta. So I had this gigantic sword. I had red sclera contacts in, and just the whole character thing. I'm still upgrading it, but
cool, very cool.
It was a great time.
You should maybe do that Maybe on stage someday you should do a cosplay performance.
I agree. That would be sick. So being a proper nerd, I feel I I hosted my first panel at Anime Milwaukee earlier this year. I believe that was back in March, and it went over well. I even got to perform my debut single. I actually released my debut single on the day of the panel. It only felt right. It felt perfect. Being a square, being at an anime convention, letting everyone experience it. Most of the people were in cosplay, including myself. But to do that on a massive scale or any scale where more people would be able to experience that, I think be great for the music scene, period.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are always searching for something a little bit different. Something that they kind of know, but something that just kind of changes the perspective just a little bit, that they can go, oh, that was kind of cool, I would think.
I agree.
Yeah. Now, besides being a musician, you're also, I believe, a stand-up comedian, correct?
Correct.
So how does that kind of interweave with your music, or how does the music kind of interweave with your stand-up, or is that kind of like two separate personas for you?
That's a good question. I attempt to keep the same character across all mediums. It's easier that way. It's easier that way. And going back to being vulnerable, it makes it way easy.
Yeah.
Because you're not pretending to be anybody. But punchlines, lyrics, very much so. If you can tell a joke, you can spit bars.
Gotcha.
If you can spit bars, you can tell jokes. Don't let anybody tell you different. It's just the way that you word it. You can be clever with lyrics. You can be clever with jokes. I love wordplay. I like puns.
Got it.
It works out. It works out perfectly. I'll have a premise for a joke, and it actually turns into like 4 to 8 bars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm very fortunate to be able to figure out how to translate things between mediums.
There are multiple different ways of being a comedian, and you're talking about you like doing puns. Are you like a storyteller with like a pun, wrapped around it? Do you have like a story and then come back to the punchline a little bit later? No, how's your setup for that to work for you?
I try to keep the puns coming back to back. No, I tell stories.
Okay.
I tell stories, and the end of the story is usually wrapped in some sort of is punched with some word play or just a twist, but still a pun, a play on words. I think it's great.
Awesome.
I appreciate stand up in that sense.
Fantastic. Cool. So, being out there in the live music scene, the live entertainment scene, actually for you, it's live entertainment. It's not just music, but it's stand up and karaoke and all those, different parts of the entertainment business. What have you learned over, say, the last 5 years that has made you stronger in the scene?
Considering I'm not sure where I stand in the music scene, like there are a bunch of artists that way more established, and I appreciate that. And shout out and rest in peace, Twan Mack, who was a mentor to me when I started. I met him while I was at Drunken Cobra for this. So what have I learned? As long as you're enjoying yourself, people are enjoying themselves. I feel that people vibe off of your energy, and if they don't like it, they're not going to throw it back, but if they do, they will. So I like to think that I'm throwing out an energy that people can vibe with, which is drenched in authenticity. I strive to be authentic in everything that I do, but I also realize, like I said earlier, that the possibilities are endless. You can do anything that you want, essentially. Anything you anything you automatically put makes you unique, regardless on everyone's journey is different, everyone's perspective is
Yep.
different, even it brought it in a broad sense, it looks the same. Everyone's journey is different, and I have embraced that, and the endless opportunities, I embrace it as opposed to run from it, because I know I can't do wrong in pursuing what I want to do.
So, with that in mind, what do you see, or what have other people seen in you that makes you just slightly different than maybe somebody else? What's unique about your stage presence, your persona, whatever you want to call it? What do you think is slightly different that makes you stand out?
I know the cop out answer is being me, but but let's see. I feel that my background, each of the mediums, and the way that I want to meld them all into one experience, uh, in the way I like to meld the experiences. So when you hear me do music, it's not just me doing music, it's theatrical, to tell stories. I also make video games. So I incorporate that via, which I shouldn't say this, but there will be video game experiences of each of my tracks. So I believe what makes me unique is how I could do my own marketing and present it via multiple mediums
Awesome.
on my own.
Excellent. Yeah, that would make you stand out a little bit different because everybody has their own little niche or gimmick or whatever, but as long as it's sewn in with authenticity, like you had mentioned a little bit earlier, I think that people are more drawn to the authenticity than someone trying to be somebody they're not, or trying to be fake, or trying to be somebody that's already out there. So if, like you said, if you're authentic and you kind of bring your own personality to it, that kind of separates you from other people.
I agree. To that effect, it's so hard to be anyone. It's so hard. Why waste all that time when you can do your own thing?
Right.
It just takes a little bit of be comfortable with yourself.
Yes.
Let yourself be a little bit vulnerable.
Yes.
That's what I say.
Excellent.
If you can do that, then I feel like you're well on your way as a creative.
Yes.
But yeah, it's too hard to be fake.
Too much work. It's too much work.
Yes.
No, it's different than, if you want to be a character, that's not really being fake. That's just being
Inactive.
Yeah, it's part of, I think, I could be wrong, but my opinion is I think the best actors are the ones that kind of bring themselves to the part and what they think, if they were going to be somebody like that character, how they themselves would be that character, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I agree.
Just want to let you know that my recording studio, ZTF Studio, has now been open for the last 6 months. For over 20 years, I've been helping artists like you bring your music to life with high-quality recordings and mixing. At ZTF Studio, it's not just about recording. It's about capturing your best performance, finding the perfect mix, and making sure your music sounds exactly how you imagined it, or even better. Whether you're a band, solo artist, or need professional voiceover work, I got you covered. I know how much music means to you because as a musician myself, it means a lot to me as well. That's why I put everything I've got into making sure that your recordings are polished, powerful, and ready to stand out. So if you're ready to take your sound to the next level, let's make it happen. Contact me at ztfstudio@gmail.com. Call me at 262-757-8120. Check out some recordings that I have up on my website at ztfstudio.com. I also have Instagram, which is under ZTF_studio. Contact me whenever you have any questions or would like to book a session. Thanks. So tell us about Sorta Ridiculous a little bit more. Tell us what this is all about. Is there things where people can be a part of it, or is it something that's just intrinsic to you? Kind of tell us a little bit more about that whole thing.
All right, so I'll give you the Sorta Ridiculous origin story. So, Sorta Ridiculous started during my last year of school. I had reverted back to graphic design, and in the classes I were taking, we were more or less setting up our businesses. So you can either set up a business with a unique name, or based on, or just your name, which was common. So I thought, you know what, I want to do something unique. I want to do something that I feel is me. And one thing I know about me is I might come off as out there, absurd, or ridiculous, but it's still true. It's ridiculous, but it's me. So it's only sort of ridiculous. Ridiculous just out there. That can't be a thing. And during that same time, I was creating my card game. Can you swear on this? Can we swear in here or not so much?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the name of the game is Two Fucks. Two Fucks is the game. Basically, I weaponized the mechanics of accumulating and shedding card games. So like Crazy Eights, or Uno, card games like that.
Okay.
And I was like, this would be perfect. This would be perfect to launch Sorta Ridiculous. So when it first started, it was sort of a culmination. They were one and the same. So after a while, I had to separate that. So Sorta Ridiculous was its own thing, and Two Fucks was something that was Sorta Ridiculous. So Two Fucks led to game night events. So that led me into events. So after hosting a couple of events at Falklandia Brew Pub in St. Francis, which brought me back into the karaoke game, that's when I started hosting karaoke via Sorta Ridiculous. And to go back a little bit, I told myself that I wanted to start a company that encompassed everything that I'm interested in. I never thought that I would be a producer, because being a producer it sounded like, to me, it was just that name, the first couple of names during the credits of a movie or anything. I was like, what do they actually do? I want to be the main protagonist. I want to live the life of a Disney protagonist, which I grew up on Disney. Outside of all the politics and all that other stuff, as a kid, you don't think about it.
No,
you don't think about it. So I wanted to encompass everything that I wanted to do in one thing, and that ended up being a production company. So that's how Sorta Ridiculous came about. So again, it started with the card game, turned to events, which led back to karaoke, as well as making my own music. And also, I was doing stand-up comedy, and then I started with the music, and that can all be done via Sorta Ridiculous, which is, I was very fortunate to have that vision from the very beginning.
Yeah, it's kind of like your home base, basically, and then you have little things that are attached to that.
Right.
Excellent. Yeah. So what do you see happening, or hope to see happening, with everything that you're involved with in the next 3 to 5 years?
A touring musical.
Doing your own musical. Wow.
Why not? A Sorta Ridiculous musical. Like I said, all the songs that I've written, all the songs I've released thus far, they have their own story. It's not just nothing against those songs, nothing against party bops and everything like that, which I'll probably drop some as well. But as far as what I want to do with my music is obviously provide a space and opportunity for folks like me to feel comfortable expressing themselves, whether it's at an anime convention or game nights or whatever you're into that might seem far out from normal quote unquote. That's what I want. The way that I feel, I want that. I want that for others. I feel very comfortable with who I am, and I know that that's hard to come by being a nerd or being a minority with being a minority and a fan of mediums, IPs, and things generally speaking that isn't common knowledge to folks. And uh, I keep saying anime because I'm OG as far as liking anime, and I feel very fortunate that it's in style. I can be like, well, you guys have it easy. We had to jump hurdles and do all this other stuff to to get anime. People made fun of me and my friends for that. But you know what? They're all on that now. And as much as I want to be like, well, it wasn't like that then, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm comfortable and I want that for other people.
Best said. Nice job. As we're wrapping this up, if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self to give yourself some advice, what advice do you think you would give?
I tell myself to get started now. Follow your interests. If you don't like it, that's okay. You have more than enough time. Whatever your interest is, chase it. If it doesn't work, then switch it up. I tell myself that now, and I'm 38 years old. I tell myself that all the time. I've been fortunate to like all the things that I do, but I would tell myself, do what you want to do, chase your interests, because you don't want to get caught up in something that you don't even like.
Well said. I think a lot of people should take that advice. Chase your dreams. If you're going down a path and all of a sudden your gut says we've exhausted everything and it's time to do something else, and you do something else, but at least you can say that you did something and you were happy doing it during the time it happened. And then, like you said, if you think you have enough time, go try other things afterwards.
Right.
Anything else you want listeners to know about you, about your productions, about Sorta Ridiculous, your karaoke night, your comedy show, anything of that nature?
Sure. With Sorta Ridiculous, I host two weekly karaoke shows. Currently, the best karaoke bar in Milwaukee, Drunken Cobra, which is in East Tosa, on Wednesdays from 9 to midnight at least. On Fridays at Falklandia Brew Pub, which is in St. Francis. It used to be 42 Ale House and some other stuff before. On Fridays from 9 to midnight. There are a couple of comedy shows that will be happening before the year is out. As far as the music is concerned, I'm thinking it looks like the EP that I'm working on will be released sometime next year. Like I said earlier, I make video games. If you want access or want to check out anything Sorta Ridiculous, you can go to sortaridiculous.com. That's SORTARIDICULOUS.com. You'll find everything that you need there, whether you want to purchase 2 files, listen to my music, find out what events are going on. I try to keep it updated as much as possible. And if you want to collaborate, I also do graphic design things. I DJ weddings. Check me out. Sorta Ridiculous is also on River West Radio every week, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're in the greater River West area, it's 104.1 FM. If you're anywhere else, you can go to riverwestradio.com and listen to the Listen Live. If you want to check out old video or check out videos, Sorta Ridiculous Productions on YouTube, you'll find a bunch of episodes that we've recorded via video, and you can also find old episodes of Sorta Ridiculous, just audio via SoundCloud. Look up Sorta Ridiculous, and you'll find them via River West Radio's SoundCloud account.
Okay.
I believe that's everything. But go check out sortaridiculous.com.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything that you want.
Yes. Do you have Instagram or Facebook or anything else social media wise?
I do. So the Sorta Ridiculous Instagram is Sorta Ridiculous. Again, SORTARIDICULOUS. And my music page is Darrin Alston Music. Darrin is DARRIN. Alston ALSTON Music. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to spell that, but
yep.
MUSIC. What else? On Facebook it's Sorta Ridiculous Productions. Again on YouTube it's Sorta Ridiculous as well.
Okay.
Now, Sorta Stupid. They used to come up all the time when I put on Sorta Ridiculous. To be completely honest, I was surprised that Sorta Ridiculous was even available, period. It sounds like something people
would have taken. Yeah.
But the reason it is because it's ubiquitous. People think about it, but they don't think about it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I believe that's everything.
Good. I will put all that in the show notes as well, so people can just click on the links there. Darrin, fantastic talking to you. I mean, I haven't really heard, I didn't really know about you until you contacted me and kind of gave me a gist about what you're about, but this conversation opened up a whole new avenue of what's going on out there. So, Darrin, thank you so much for being here, making Wisconsin proud of their entertainment. Thank you so much for being here on the Wisconsin Music Podcast.
Thank you for having me. And full disclosure, it was Mystik Musik. It was Mystik Musik that said, "Hey, Zach just started having the submissions for interviews, so do it." So shout out to Mystik Musik.
Fantastic.
That's MYSTIK MUSIK, making music 24/7, 168 hours a week. That's I forget how he says it, but yeah. Amazing dude. Check him out.
Yes, absolutely. Darrin, once again, thank you so much for being on. It was great meeting you, and hopefully we'll cross paths very soon.
I'm sure we will. Appreciate it.
Have a great night, my friend.
You too.
Well, another great, fantastic interview here on Wisconsin Music Podcast. Darrin, thank you so much for being on the show and telling everybody about all the great things you're a part of and just continuing to make the Wisconsin music scene proud and exemplary. I hope everyone enjoyed listening in on the conversation between me and Darrin. So check him out when you get a chance. For those of you who are new to our show, the Wisconsin Music Podcast is dedicated to showcasing the incredible talent of Wisconsin-based musicians and the thriving local music community. Our episodes drop every Tuesday on all streaming platforms and YouTube. If you'd like to be on the show, just go to wisconsinmusicpodcast.com, fill out the guest request form up at the top, ask for your email and your name, and then I'll send you an auto email asking you for more information. If you are enjoying these episodes, please consider donating to the Wisconsin Music Podcast. Donations help pay for the website and putting the podcast up on streaming services, and also getting our name out there to all Wisconsinites and others that are interested in our great music here in Wisconsin. Donations are secured through PayPal and Stripe. All you have to do is go to the website and click on Donate to WMP. You can also head over to our Instagram and Facebook pages and like us there. Leave some comments. Also go to the podcast review section of your podcast player and leave a 5-star review. Would be great. You can also head over to YouTube and watch the interviews and leave comments there as well. Well, thanks again for tuning in to another episode of the Wisconsin Music Podcast. Once again, I'm Zach Fell, your host and creator of the Wisconsin Music Podcast, where I love to amplify the great sounds coming out of the Wisconsin state. We have great talent here, great support, great listeners. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next time.